Okay. Let me see what we got going here. What's up, Deke? All right. I'll let a few more people get in here. I would have started it on a... I guess I should probably turn music up then, huh? I also need to go announce to everybody I'm online. I didn't even make a thumbnail. Kind of last minute. I'm super beat, man. I worked my ass off at the gym. Where do we gotta go here? Go here. No. Thank you, Deke. I appreciate that. Where can I grab? Can this go away, please? No? Okay, great. Sup, Pheromanus? That's alright. Thanks for dropping in. I probably won't be streaming very long. Anyways, I am extremely tired, but we continue. Let me just send out stuff everywhere. We can still talk about some stuff tonight. I may talk about what Deke suggested, but I may save that for maybe next week or the week after when hopefully I'm a little bit more energetic and I can talk about that more in depth. Sup, Donnie? Good to see ya. Is Nyanus and Husbanus still getting drunk and playing Apex? I'm assuming they're getting drunk. One more place. Let me do that on my phone. Hope you guys are having a great night. I had a heavy workout at the gym. Had a long week. Even though it was a short week, I took Monday off, and yet I'm still not back to where I want to be. I think this is Halo. Yeah. I think I picked the, what song is this? Mombasa Suite. Yeah, that's just going to be on repeat for tonight. I think that's probably going to be my main one, as long as I don't get copyright struck for it. Working on a casual Dutch fit first. What do you mean by that, Donnie? Okay, let me go grab this and put it in my server. Casual Dutch fit. I don't know what that means. Also, tonight, everybody decided to stream. Like, there's hecka people streaming right now. Oh, it already put something up here. Great. I'll just... boop, boop, boop. All right. Oh, perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, let's see. Oh, thanks, Donnie. I did not know you did that, but I appreciate it. I can't wait to see it. I have a couple more casual things. I wonder if I have them on here. I'm sure I do. Let me... You guys aren't going to see anything that I don't want you to see. I don't think I even put anything on here that I would consider that. Let me see. Sure I have. I mean, I didn't draw it, but it is on here, right? Yeah, this is like the workout fit. No, it's probably hard to see on the screen. I can make it bigger, probably. Let me see. Nope. I don't know what the frick that is. There we go. And since we're here, thanks to my sponsor, Deke might be into this. I don't know, Deke, do you take protein or creatine? Anyways, Temple, I think it's buildtemple.com or something like that. You know, let me go look that up. Get my sponsor shill in here really quick. No, not Build the Bear. Should be right here. That'll be good. Okay, and I can come back to that. Okay, should have just clicked on it here. What am I thinking? Tired. Anyways, hard to see, but if you guys are interested, I am now sponsored with code Lionheart on Temple, Christian supplement brand, prayer on every bottle. If you're gonna buy supplements, you might as well, and if you're gonna buy supplements and you're Christian, you might as well buy from a Christian supplement brand. I've talked to the owners, pretty cool guys, appreciate them supporting me. I'm gonna do my best to honor that and speak well. So they got pre-workout, they got, you know, your whey protein, your creatine. I want to say whey protein, very smooth, shakes up well, good taste. All they got is chocolate right now. I'm hoping for a strawberry soon. All right, let's see. Deke, I didn't lift weights. We can get off of this. Anyways, go to Temple. What is it? Build Temple. That's TEMPL.com, or on my Twitter. I have it in my archives or whatever, my saved list highlights. I have it in my highlights. Buildtemple.com. Code Lionheart. I think it's 10 or 20% off at checkout. Helps me out. Helps them out. You get some money off. You get some good supplements. Yeah. All right. Anyways, back to this for Donnie, and I will read what Deke was saying. Didn't lift weights this week. I did on Monday, but I've been lazy bear this week, which is fine. I'm still doing my walks and chin-ups at the park, giving my tendons a little break. Yeah, sometimes you need that. Yeah, I'll usually knock down the weight when I do that and just go lightweight, high reps. Just eat a dozen eggs a day. That's my protein intake. Yeah. I wish I had time for that. But also I'd be farting like a madman. Creatine, whey are bad. I just get 5 dozen eggs for 5. Yeah, you can't beat that if you can eat all that. I feel like I'd feel bloated and shit. But if you do decide you want some or need some, it's there for you. Let's go through this for Donnie. So yeah, Donnie, this is kind of like the casual fit, kind of. That's the lifting fit. I have a different one in here somewhere, I'm sure, of the... I had one for like concerts and stuff. This is like on vacation Dutch, but it's all AI. So I mean, if you're doing something like actual real, like drawing, beach, White Boy Summer, shout out. Yeah, if you're doing something more actual beachy or actual art, like drawing, like by all means. I have one. I don't know where it is. I'll have to... It's not in here. Anyways, back to our regularly scheduled program. Did all the main... Yeah, Farrell. I agree. Well, unless you mix it up, like, because you could have boiled eggs, like hard-boiled eggs, soft-boiled eggs, scrambled eggs, over easy, over medium, egg salad, deviled eggs. I love deviled eggs. I'm gonna have to refo about it. We did. I want to get on your level, D. Cuts. Sounds like some intense training. I do 3 or 4 days a week, and I try to do... I could probably cut it down to an hour and a half if I'm not on Twitter, but it's usually more like 2 hours. Although I probably could cut it down and should. Everyone I know says if I'm only working out 3 to 4 times a week, it should only be an hour, but I don't know how they get through it that fast. I do like 4 to 5 different exercises, and the first one is a major compound lift with like 3 to 5 sets. So, yeah, of course, Donnie. I think you're the one who did the Battle Sister Nanus, right? So, speaking of which, let's get into... I'm gonna start this. I want to do something like Cecil, where I have like at the beginning of the show, instead of this the start screen or just the start screen, it'll flip through like a bunch of different videos and like memes and stuff like that, and this is one of them that I like, that I got from my boy Gap. Today is Friday. Today is Friday in California. It is indeed. I'm right here in California, and it is indeed Friday. We could probably analyze this a little bit, but I can't tell you what's going on here. I don't know why these doctors are like clanging the these big metal knives against each other, like machetes. And then I don't know what's up with the Japanese Terminator. Is it a T-1000 or something from Terminator 2, the liquid one? I don't know what's up with that guy. I don't know why he said today's Friday in California before shooting him. But it's a good video. I like it a lot. Intense training, 2 hours a day, 6 days a week. Yeah, I'm supposed to be doing a 100-day challenge, and part of that I think is 5 times a week of lifting at least. I don't even run. I'm just lifting, and it already takes 2 hours, man. Like, I don't know where I'm gonna find the time, especially if I'm still trying to stream and stuff. Okay. Yanus and Gundo chillin'. Double boiler to keep your temper and yolks even. Won't break as you whip the clarified butter. Looks like 70s Japanese. Yeah, I don't know what it is, Feral Mantis. Deke said hi to Bigot Barry, but I don't see Bigot Barry in here. But if he is in here, welcome Bigot Barry. All right, we want to start off positives. Let's look at some Phil that Nianus didn't get to today. He's playing Star Fox.
I don't know how to dodge. I don't know how to dodge at all. I can't get out of the way. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Are you for real? I gotta do this whole thing again?
I've been watching you, Foxman.
In what universe does it make sense to have to fly through these tunnels again? No checkpoint at the boss?
I'm trying to get it so you guys can see Mr. Phil.
No checkpoint at the boss is ridiculous.
Let's start it over again. So he's playing Star Fox. I guess this is the new one, maybe, or a remake.
I don't know how to dodge. I don't know how to dodge at all.
I want to make sure you guys can see this whole thing because there is room to dodge. I guarantee you. Or he could do like a barrel roll. I think that would counter it as well.
I don't know how to dodge. I don't know how to dodge at all.
He stayed down here at the bottom of the screen where the hand was swiping. He could have just gone up towards the top of the screen, right? I think.
I can't get out of the way. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Are you for real? I gotta do this whole thing again?
I've been watching you, Foxman.
You double tap Z or R, or you literally maneuver. Exact same as, yeah, Star Fox 64. Paint on the roll input button. I don't like how Falco looks.
Universe does it make sense to have to fly through these tunnels again? No checkpoint at the boss? Are they stupid?
Are they stupid,
no
chat?
No checkpoint at the boss is ridiculous. That, what on earth were they thinking? I'm lost. Why would you do that?
Oh, okay, so yeah, barrel roll.
Tiger Crimson has always been like that. Yeah, but you have to understand, it's 2026.
It's 2026, guys.
It's the best upgrade, so. It's 2026. You have checkpoints, man.
Checkpoints. And that's all from Phil. Let me expand this out a little bit more again. Gosh dang it. I think we have a second Phil today. Second Phil will hit the stream. Hold on. That's nothing new from Phil. That's a pretty standard Phil moment.
Full steam ahead.
Oh no, Fox!
How did he run into that?
Oops.
Oops. How did... Bro, it was right in front of him for like a whole 5 seconds. Look at that. How did he run into that?
Oops.
Amazing. Amazing. Bro, he had so much time to avoid that.
Oops.
So much time to avoid that. One second invincibility, blah, blah, blah. I can't. Yeah, Donnie. He got defeated by a monkey. All right, I can take these off of the list. So tonight, I do have this before we get into the shoe on head. So we have a Gen Z women are deliberately dating ugly men. Could Shrekking cure the dating fatigue? And then we have this amazing answer right here from Wary Winston. Wary Winston. I have to enunciate. Wary Winston. This is just women dating men equally attractive as them, but not admitting to themselves that they are ugly. True. As we know, and I won't go too hard on this one, but because we can get into it another time after we watch tonight. By the way, guys, I'm probably just going through the shoe on head video. It's probably going to take me till maybe 9:30, 10, and then I'm done. I'm pretty tired. I got to go take a shower, get some rest. I got a long day tomorrow too, but I wanted to at least touch base with you guys, especially Deke, because I know he likes these. He appreciates these. Yeah, so women have definitely raised the bar too high. They have very high standards for men that are nearly unattainable, if not completely unattainable, especially for how the women look. Like, even if you look in this picture that they used, that no homo, but that dude looks way better than that chick. All right, that dude is at least 2 steps above that chick. So. And that's usually how it goes. A lot of women are dating 2, 3, 4 steps up from or were dating 2, 3, 4 steps up, and now they're just settling and they're getting back to where they should have been from the beginning, which is either matching with a dude across from them in looks, like they're at the same level, or hey Jericho, good to see you. And Elucidator, what's up? Yeah, they're dating across from them, and like if you're doing the 10 scale, right? It's like a 5 dating a 5. But for a while, up until very recently, when a lot of men left the dating market, a lot of chicks were dating, like it was like a 4 could date like a 7, 8, 9. You know, even some 10s, and by date I mean like just get ran through. Unfortunately. And I'm not making fun, honestly. This is affecting all of society. It's really horrible. But yeah, they would just get, slam-a-jammed, and they thought their worth was like at that level of attractiveness, and it's really not. So now they're just dating across the board here. They're going back to, they've had their fun. Now they're dating across the board into the like a 5 dating a 5, or a 5 dating a 6, or maybe a 5 even dating a 4, going down a little bit. Nature is hopefully healing, but let's not let up yet. And that's all I really wanted to say about that. So now we can get into, by the way, I haven't watched the shoe on head video yet, so this will be my first time. I don't know if it's your guys' first time, but this is my first time watching the shoe on head video. Yes, true Deke. See here. All right, so let's get right into the news now. The shoe on head video. Okay, I can get rid of that now. All right, boys.
It's time for your annual race war. Oh, you didn't want to be in a race war? Well, too bad. You're in one. Your skin color is your uniform, soldier. Black people on this side, white people on this side, Italians. We'll figure it out later. Attention! Which one of you lily lickers mix the white Monster Energy with the Kool-Aid pineapples? How many times do I have to tell you? No mixing. Now get suited up, soldier. You're heading into your first battle. The comment section of a Nick Fuentes Instagram reel. Godspeed. Hello, and welcome to another episode of...
Can you be racist against white people? Rice people against you can be racist against rice people for sure. Yes, you can be racist against white people. I say this as a mutt. She needs a better knife hand, Deke. Hot take: women used to complain about society lower all women's self-esteem, but I argue that culture right now is the opposite. Women's self-esteem is the as they call it, the hoflation, and I will not pull punches on that. The hoflation is real. Yes, agreed.
I am your host, Shoe on Head. You may know me as Timu Boxy, or perhaps the woman who footmogged Hassan Piker. Thank you. Thank you. I know a few of you have
Disgusting.
come here from that last video, so hello, new friends, and old friends, please say hello to the new friends. Do not scare them away. One of the biggest things that happened when I was gone was the conclusion to the Carmelo Anthony trial. Now, for those of you who are unaware...
You know what? I just realized I'm reacting to this as a VTuber, but I'm not using my VTuber model. Now we have to react to another Shoe on Head video eventually, because it's not my VTuber model. But every VTuber has to react to at least one Shoe on Head video.
Where, for those of you who have no idea what has been going on, don't worry about it, kid. No, but what happened was last year during a Texas high school track meet, Carmelo Anthony, a 19-year-old student, and Austin Metcalf, a 17-year-old student, got into a heated dispute after Carmelo entered Austin's tent, which was like a rivalry school's tent. An argument followed, and then allegedly...
she's kind of summarizing. I know you guys know, but I will go a little bit more in depth on this. So it would seem, allegedly, that Carmelo was sitting in the opposite team's track tent, whatever that is. I don't know. I am not from the public school sphere. I was not in track, but yeah, Carmelo was in the wrong tent. Let's say that the tent that he was of the opposite team, and then all the opposite team member kids came up and said, "Yo, dude, you're not supposed to be in this tent. You need to get out of the tent." And he kept just saying stuff like, "Try it and see what happens," and other things that were, you know, escalating the situation, not de-escalating the situation, where normal people, "What's up, Spider? Good to see ya." And Alex MQZ, as Dill would say. Rival school set. Yeah. But now a normal person would probably de-escalate, right? Like first off, a normal person would normally not be in the wrong tent unless they're pulling some kind of prank or something like that. But either way, once they're asked to leave, they would just be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go now." And also, I heard allegedly they were also worried at these track meets, because the current track meets, like now in current times, because they had things stolen from bags and stuff, like, you know, wallets, phones, that kind of stuff. So obviously that's why you have the separate tents where people can put down their stuff and hopefully it's safe, right? But allegedly people had been going into the opposite team's tents, or random people who weren't part of either team were going into the tents and stealing things. So that's why it was of concern, and why these guys were so adamant about getting him out. And for some reason, he just went into like a spiral of try it and see what happens, which doesn't help anything. But these guys, almost adult teenagers, were obviously not having it. They're like, "No, dude, you're not supposed to be here." Now, me personally, again, I would probably keep some guys there to watch him, and then send to go get a coach, or if they have security, a coach or like security, right? That's the smartest thing to do. But I'm also not blaming them. They were taking it into their own hands, and in a previous time in our history, they would have been fine. There might have been a little scuffle, a little fight, a little punch, but nothing serious would have happened. It would have been a nothing burger, right?
Carmelo said, "Touch me and see what happens," and so Austin shoved him, and Carmelo
So yeah, and it wasn't just once though. He was saying it constantly, and they had asked him multiple times to leave. Allegedly, this is the facts that came out during the court trial thing. I'm not saying I know for sure, but for legal reasons, YouTube. But so Austin apparently pushed him or tried to get him to leave, and obviously Carmelo, as you guys know, allegedly pulled out a knife and stabbed this young man, Austin, directly in the heart. So we'll let her do the rest. I just wanted to clarify and specify.
Pulled a knife out, and yeah. Austin then passed away in his brother's arms. Court argued that that use of force with a knife was completely unjustified, that a single shove did not justify a deadly response. During the trial, jurors listened to witnesses' accounts of the events, reviewed video evidence, and after a few days, the jury
also, again, for the trial, apparently they had video, allegedly, full video where you could see pretty much most of what, like, it made it clear what happened. Also, the witnesses on the prosecutor side, obviously, there was plenty from Austin's team that could, including his brother, who witnessed it and could say what happened. And then even people who the defense brought out to defend Carmelo also flipped their stories and were like, yeah, no, he shouldn't have been in there. Yeah, he did. Just, you know, he was saying, like, try something. He was instigating, and then he did just straight up, like, they basically folded. So how this defense, whoever they hired for defense, by the way, another thing that we didn't mention, they got 500,000, $500,000 to go towards his defense fund, and they spent it, from what I understand, I don't know if they had this in the works before or not. I'm just letting you know, allegedly, his family got a new house in a new place surrounded by a bunch of white people in a gated community, and also a new Escalade. So instead of spending it on, you know, the best lawyer possible, who probably would have looked at this case and said, we're going to try and plea insanity or a plea deal of some sort. So
found Carmelo Anthony guilty, and he was sentenced to 35 years in prison. And everyone except...
Let me read some of your chats before we continue. My bad. Sido Widow made it through the Nuzlocke. Very nice. Very nice. Good job, Elucidator. All on tape. Hella witnesses. Body cam confession. Pretty open and shut. Yeah. Yeah.
That outcome because they understand how the law works and they respect our justice system. Haha.
Only good cracker is a dead cracker. Only good cracker is a dead cracker.
I don't have an opinion. I don't have an opinion here.
These kinds of face-to-face, emotion-rising, shouting matches really do no good.
In this video, we are going to discuss the insane reaction.
I don't have an opinion.
I want to bring up how the white people in these situations, or the people that are not part of the defense, I guess you could say, there's possibly more than white people, are not getting in anyone's faces. They are just standing normally, seemingly. And also the fact that we've been told for years now that white supremacy and racism is the issue. And yet, whenever we've seen a apparent, alleged white supremacist event where all their faces are covered, and it's pretty... It could be seen as glowy, very glowy. I'm trying to be careful about how I talk about this. It could be seen as glowy. All of those still end up being peaceful, and nobody's getting in anyone's face. And the most violent we got was the was it May 5th? I can't even remember right now. The one where they went into the Capitol building. And even that, for the most part, was just people walking around and moving furniture. I'm not saying what they did was right. It was very stupid, but that was the most violent I've seen from the other side getting. But whenever it's something like this, where it's an open and shut case, you would think that people would take accountability or just, ignore it and be like, yeah, okay. I don't want this person near my kids because my kids could get hurt, right? But no, it's tribalism, right? And I do want to make sure I pray for these people. I hope they get help. I hope they understand better later justice. And I hope they turn from these ways. Again, I'm trying to be careful about how I say things. I do legitimately hope that people get better and change and aren't like this. Because I do remember a time back in like the 90s when we got to a point of like equilibrium. We got to a point where the phrase colorblind was actually true. And most people just were like, oh, that dude was like a drug addict. Not this person from this specific situation. But back in the day, you'd be like, oh, that dude was a serial like thief and he robbed people at gunpoint and he shot someone and he was a drug addict. Like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, put him in jail. On every side, both people, like both white, black, brown, whatever. Everybody was just like, yeah, keep the psycho away from me and my family and my kids. People were somewhat rational. They respected each other. I feel like a lot more people had a positive worldview of each other, whether you were black, white, poor, rich, whatever. So it's possible is what I'm saying. But for some reason, we've reverted into a weird tribalism of them versus us, both in politics and race.
Don't have an here.
These kinds of face-to-face.
Like, look at this guy. And this guy is being held back at some point he's getting really mad at this old white dude. Like, what is this old white dude gonna do? What, you get that mad about words? Like, the only words I would get that mad about is maybe like, and is this guy related or even know Carmelo Anthony? Or is it just some guy who's mad about race relations that he got stirred up by the media, right? Because again, like, the only words that this white guy could say to me that would make me even a fraction of this mad at this is something about the Duchess or something about maybe my parents or something about God. That's about it. So let me read some of your guys' chats again. Yeah, they blew the entire fund on useless things. The house, the car were rentals. Not even, oh, I did not know that. Interesting. The 3-letter agency is doing nothing at this point. The glowies don't do the violence. Yeah, I could probably say that on here. They just facilitate opportunities and groom them. Yes, true, Deke. True indeed. Let's see here. What a time period where you can not get rid of criminals. Yeah. It's because the hood has become the loud majority. It's very odd. It is very odd. I don't quite understand.
Emotion rising, shouting matches really do no good.
In this video, we are going to discuss the insane...
No good.
I do have one more thing to say about this before we move on.
I have an opinion. I don't have an opinion here.
These kinds of face-to-face, emotion rising, shouting matches really do.
The doo-doo nails. They're there. How does she wipe? Why would you get these nails? The only thing, I'll give them one thing. The one positive that these kind of nails are good for is like back scratching. Like, Like, they're really good back scratchers. True, Deke. Well, you know, I could go on Kick, I could go on Rumble and do this, but I don't think I'd get nearly as much visibility. But since we brought it up, I know we're derailing a little bit here, but bear with me. You guys are used to Nanus, so I know you guys understand that these I do have my computer back. All right, everything's upgraded. It should last me another 5 to 10 years now. We're good. I did pay like almost $1,500 to do it, which is insane, but we should be good. So the multi-streaming will be back soon. I'm working with our new manager slash mod, DJ. He is not here right now, but because he's sick, hopefully he will be in stream in the next coming weeks. But he'll be helping us out as well. I will be multi-streaming, and maybe I'll cover more of the spicy stuff on the maybe I'll do like a kind of like what's it called, who's that guy, Elucidator is always bringing him up, Crowder, the Crowder guy, where it's like we do part of the Friday Night Flame War on YouTube for a little bit, and then I dump it to Rumble and Kick afterwards. We get rid of the Twitch and the YouTube at a certain point in the night. So but I'm gonna have to work that out after I get everything set up. It's gonna take me a few weeks, because we got 4th of July next week, and I agree with Yannis. I'm not doing anything on 4th of July Saturday, or is it on Sunday? I don't know, but I'm not doing it on either. I think it's Saturday. I'm not doing anything on Saturday. Will we do Friday night next week? Depends on what the news cycle looks like and how well I'm feeling. I would like to get to what Deke asked, because I think it's important for people to know, but not tonight. Maybe next week. Maybe that's what we'll do next week. And then after that, a few weeks after that, or like in the couple weeks, few weeks, whatever from now, I also am going to be out of town again. So after that, though, then I really want to start heading back into streaming Fridays with this kind of content, bringing on guests, and also going back to games, doing some games. I'd really like to, I mean, Helldivers is the niche, but I would really like to start getting into the boomer shooters, which is what I wanted to make my niche on the Doom Troopers channel to begin with. You know, Doom, Bolt Gun, Ultra Kill, stuff like that. So maybe we'll get into some of that, or we'll go back to Helldivers, because I haven't played with the Doom Troopers from the 9th Hellraisers in a long time, and I'd really like to do that as well. But it's going to take a minute, because I got to get a desk set up. I got to get a computer set up. I got to get my new computer set up, so then I have my dual PC set up, and then I got to get everything organized so it's good to go. And then we'll be ready. We can start really digging in, hopefully. And also, I just want to make this better for you guys as much as I can. Like I was telling Deke and some of you other guys earlier, I would like to make a clip show with funny stuff on it before on the starting screen. So, but all right, Feral Mantis, good to see you. Have a good night. You want me to play Marathon?
Do no good.
In this video, we are going to discuss the insane reactions to the Carmelo Anthony trial, read some tweets, watch some TikToks, as well as debunk a bunch of misinformation, because I am just tired of seeing the same ridiculous, regurgitated talking points repeated ad nauseum by hundreds and thousands of people, just believing it as gospel, hyping themselves up into a race war.
Oh, I might also do stuff on Tuesdays too, if I have the time. Maybe just an hour like this, do a quick reaction on Tuesdays, because I have Tuesdays off for a couple months right now. So maybe Tuesdays, maybe.
I am not kidding. that is how bad it is getting. Growing up, I was always told not to judge people based on their appearance, that it didn't matter what gender you were, what your sexuality was, didn't matter.
Okay. When I was growing up, I was taught not to judge someone on their appearance by race. This other stuff she's talking about, she sounds like she grew up in a kind of liberal home. My parents were fairly conservative, so they generally kept me away from the gay stuff, the sexualities, the genders wasn't even a thing at that time. It was still sexes, and it was just male and female. Like we didn't have trans back then or anything like that. As far as I know, maybe she grew up in some place that had it, or you would just call them transvestites back then, or cross-dressers. But that being said, no, I was taught similarly, but mostly from a racial point of view, just the whole colorblind thing.
If you were short or tall or fat or thin, I was always told that skin color was not important, and it's not.
Again, the whole fat or thin thing was still a thing. You got made fun of for being fat. Come on now. Was I taught to not judge someone for being fat? Maybe, but everybody did, because you're a little kid. So. Didn't play Doom until I was a man. My parents had a rule about video game violence. Can be blah, 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 blah. I didn't play Doom till recently either, Deke. I played Doom a little bit before. I can't remember if it was on this channel or the other one. But I need to get through the whole thing. The first Doom like restart, I think it was 2016, Eternal and Dark Ages. I would like to get through all those. And Bolt Gun. I really want to get through Bolt Gun. I don't remember there being a marathon until the new one that's like a first person. It's kind of like a Apex thing that Bungie did. I don't remember the marathon, so you'd have to fill me in on that one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Deke. Like, no, I was not. I may have been taught to not judge a book by its cover, even in the fat regard, but everybody did it, and no one cared. It wasn't like now with the whole fat acceptance movement.
But you know what is important? Your skin's health. So before we get into the video, let's quickly give a shout out to today's sponsor, Henson Shaving.
Okay, now I can talk over her for a little bit. Have you ever wondered
what shaving cream is actually doing to your skin?
We'll let her give her little, since she's given one, maybe I'll just give one then over her. Sorry, Shu, with your weird, your weird e-girl hair. We also have Poggers. Go to poggers.com and get 10% off with code Lionheart for all your gaming supplement needs. That's it. It's good. I like to use it for, like, you don't need it. It's not a necessity, but if you want some hydration or some energy, it does make your water taste good. If you don't like just regular water, which, what are you, some kind of weird alien thing or something? As far as games go, Deke, I played a little bit of Doom 2016. I haven't played the original Doom, but Doom 2016, and it's not bad. It's pretty fun. It's difficult though. It's very hard. Eternal, I've heard, is really good, and Dark Ages was also mixed reviews, but it seemed good enough to me. So Eternal is the one that most people hold the standards on. If you mix Poggers with Temple, you'll either get kidney stones or, I mean, I guess if you're just doing a half and half, it might be okay. I mean, I mix hella stuff in my water. If I'm being completely honest, I probably shouldn't, but I have clear protein. I have like the IsoPure clear protein that's like watermelon flavored. I have actually I changed over to my protein in a sweet lemon sweet tea flavor, pretty good. And then I also add a 10 calorie thing, a 10 calorie packet of like lemonade sometimes, like strawberry lemonade or cherry limeade. I think it's like True Lime or True Lemon or something like that. And then, you know, or I'll mix in some poggers, or when I'm going to the gym, I'll do the pre-workout from Temple. Oh, okay. She's back. Good.
They found him guilty so fast right before Juneteenth. The ad. Right?
Nope,
Now
I
let's
didn't
get back
watch
to
it.
the
Sorry,
video.
Shu.
So let's not waste any more time and get straight into this, shall we? They found him guilty so fast right before Juneteenth. These folks playing in our faces. Carmelo's only crime was not allowing himself to get beat down by a white man. Carmelo will get out of prison. That boy ain't getting out of the grave. If he kept his hands to himself, he'd still be enjoying his white privilege today. White people are not victims of racism. You can't be a victim of a system you created. Hey, 23-year-old white guy who can't find a job and still lives with your parents. Did you know you created the entire system we're in right now, and therefore it's totally acceptable to hate you and be racist towards you? This is the same stupid shit they say to men, like, oh, you created the patriarchy. Like, who the f are you talking about? Joe Schmo working at Chipotle didn't create—
Yeah, no, this is retarded. Like, I didn't make this system. I'm not the president. I've never been in power as far as I know. Even my ancestry family has never been in any position of power. No, I didn't create it. Do I benefit from it? I guess, I suppose. But so does everybody else. So even the people complaining, they benefit from it, right? Like, you have plumbing, we've talked about this. You guys have talked about this in the Nanus thing, but I'll just repeat it anyways. You have plumbing, you have cell phones, you have internet, you have lights, you have electricity, you have garbage people that come and pick up your garbage every day. We used to have a high trust society where people who committed crimes were put away for a long time, and people didn't have to worry about being robbed on the street or random drug addicts, which I want to make it clear that I'm not like just hating on. Yes, we have a little fun. We do a little trolling here, but I pray for these people. I want them to get better. I hope they get better, but they shouldn't be part of society if they're doing that stuff, you know, until they've, and I do hope that at some point they get the help they need to be part of society, I suppose. I do agree with Nanus, though. There are some people who just can't be. And I don't know how many chances you give somebody, honestly, as a human. Obviously, God, unlimited chances. As a human in society, I don't know how many chances you give them, so. Yes, Donnie, I like the watermelon flavor. Okay. To be honest, I really like the cherry limeade. It's really good.
The system isn't benefiting white people at all. It's not benefiting anyone except the rich and powerful. The racism equals prejudice plus power bullshit really one-shotted these people, huh? Only a black child can be minding their business, get ambushed, bullied, and pushed around and become the aggressor.
Only a black child can be minding their business in the wrong tent. Why was he in the wrong tent? Why was he in the wrong tent? Did we ever get an answer for why he was in the opposite team's tent? Like an actual legitimate answer, not just a like, oh, it was raining and I just ran into the first tent that was there. Because if that was the case and people told you to leave, you'd go, okay, oh, I was supposed to be in the other tent? Okay, cool. I'll run over to that tent. A little water is not going to hurt me. Only a black child can be minding their business, get ambushed. They came in and told you to leave. I wouldn't call that an ambush. Bullied, again, in the wrong place. Not supposed to be there. Wouldn't call that bullying. I would call that people from the team that was supposed to be in that tent telling you, yo, dude, you're not supposed to be in this tent. Why are you here? We have our stuff in here. You're not supposed to be in here. I don't know if I'd call that bullying. It wasn't like they were like, yo, Edward, you're dumb and we don't like you and we're going to come beat you up. right? They were just like, can you leave, please? You're being unpleasant and you shouldn't be in this tent. Pushed around and become the aggressor for protecting himself. Well, even in adult life, there is such a thing as overuse of force. You're only supposed to use the same amount of force as you're being given or shown, right? Now, if someone threatens to kill you, then the appropriate amount of force is, and maybe YouTube won't like that, but yeah, there's a difference when someone's just like, I'm going to beat you up, or just punches you or something like that. Appropriate use of force. It is in our legal system.
For protecting himself. But he was quite literally not minding his own business. He was in a rival's team tent and was asked to leave like a dozen times. Witnesses say he started escalating it into a fight and then stabbed someone in the fucking heart. That's not minding your business. Why did they hire that horrible lawyer? Had to be the worst defense in history. Absolutely no reason.
I'm glad she did all this for me. Let me tell you guys why I'm doing reactions. 1, because you guys want me to, and you say you like it. 2, because, and I'm going to admit to this, unfortunately, I do not have the time to do all this research and find random Twitter accounts to put on the stream, all right? Speaking of which, there we go. Put it back in the middle of the screen. I don't have time to do the research right now, unfortunately. So at some point, hopefully, when it becomes more of a job, hopefully I will be able to, but this helps a lot. It is, and to get any kind of traction going where I could make it into full-time, where I could start doing research and stuff like that, obviously I'm going to be needing to do a bit of this easy stuff first. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, good enough.
Reason Carmelo shouldn't have testified. We gotta do better with who we hire to represent us. Plenty of black lawyers in Texas.
Hold on. Now I need to read this. Why did they hire that horrible lawyer? They didn't. Apparently they used, from what I understand, allegedly, they used a state-appointed lawyer. Even though they got $500,000 to get a good lawyer, they still used a free, taxpayer-funded, state-appointed lawyer. Had to be the worst defense in history. Absolutely no reason Carmelo shouldn't have testified. I did not know he didn't testify. Although, what would he have said? I'm not guilty. I didn't mean to stab him. I didn't know it was the wrong tent. I don't know. Got to do better with who we hire to represent us. Plenty of black lawyers in Texas. Shake my head. Again, they were given $500,000 to hire a good lawyer, and they still went with a public defender, apparently, allegedly.
Had to be the worst defense in history. Absolutely no reason Carmelo shouldn't have testified. We gotta do better with who we hire to represent us. Plenty of black lawyers in Texas. His family raised like $1 million on GoFundMe and then blew it all on a new house and a Cadillac. So then they had to get a public defender. That baby was sentenced to 35 years? I love the community note. That murderer was sentenced to 35 years. Black people, please carry more than a pocket knife. Get their asses before they can get you. What the hell do you...
Yeah, I remember that. I don't know who it's by. I don't care. Don't go. I should have said this from the beginning. Do not go. Guys, do not go harass people. Do not go. Actually, though, literally, I do not condone you guys going online and talking to these people, harassing these people. It's 1, for legal reasons, but 2, because it won't accomplish anything. You're not going to do anything. It's not going to be productive. So not worth it. Not worth it. Hello, Mr. J, my boy, Mr. J. Hail. We're right in the middle of the show, but I do remember that guy talking about you need to be carrying more than a pokey. All right. Which is, I mean, most, the funny thing is, my man, let's look at that tweet. Black people, please carry more than a pocket knife. Get, at least, I'm surprised he didn't say they. Get their asses before they can get you. Now, let's look at the recent events where, it's pretty much all the other way around, where this is actually happening. They are actually getting people before they can be got, but that's because people wouldn't have tried to get them to begin with, right? Most of these people were either just minding their own business or being like, yo, you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Can you leave, please? And also, ironically, he says, please carry more than a knife. Most of them do. Or many, I shouldn't say most, many of them do. And many of them have illegal switches on them. So. Thanks, Mr. J. Glad to have you here for the time that you could be. Hopefully I will be starting earlier next week and going forward. But it's August is really probably when I'm going to be hitting the ground running and trying to keep this consistent. So.
Get their asses before they can get you. What the hell do you mean, get their asses before they can get you? That's literally what Carmelo did. He got Austin's ass. He killed him. Why the fuck are they acting like Carmelo was the one who died? 35 years on your first offense is over sentencing. Yeah, there has to be a retrial. This is blatant injustice. First offense.
By the way, I have heard rumblings that they are going to try and take this to a higher court or get an appeal. So. And the first, yes, I agree with Shu again. The first offense here being murder. Now, also though, public defender didn't do a great job. Because I'm not even a lawyer, and I probably would have went like, okay, we need to get a plea deal here, or be like, figure out how to make you seem insane, and or try and, because they went for like, they tried to fight a murder 1 or a murder 2 sentence. Like, I would have tried to drop it down to at least somehow I would try to at least get it down to like manslaughter 1 or something like that. Right. I'm not a lawyer. Hello, Bat Derp. Been a minute. I hope you're doing well, man. I need to hit you up and catch up. Hope you would please, while we are watching this, please go ahead and update me on how you're doing, man.
And the offense in question is murder. Your Honor, it was only his first murder. 35 years ago, killing a Nazi got you a Purple Heart, but now that a German American is president, it gets you a life sentence.
Wish I could hug him, life, man. He didn't even get life. He didn't even get life. I mean, given it's most of his, what would you say, primary years, his prime years, right? It is true, but he would still have basically half a life after this. And then 35 years ago, killing a Nazi got you a Purple Heart, but now the blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, so you're calling a like 16, 17-year-old a Nazi for telling someone who was in the wrong tent to get out of your tent. Got it. Anyways, makes sense. Literally, if the Urban Tactical Division stopped carrying around Pokemanes, we wouldn't have this bad of a racial divide. True. Okay, Deke. True. I guess that's why they're going for an appeal. But the only way I see them getting it or getting anywhere close is if the jury, or I don't know how appeals work. I'll be real with you. I don't know how appeals work. If they just go to a court, well, I guess if it's just a judge, one judge, that judge could rule in favor if they're kind of a lefty woke judge. But if it's with a what's up, Lucky Bach? Good to see you. Oh, the appeal was denied, Spider. Allegedly, the appeal was denied. But if they went to a plea deal, so if it had a judge, you could get a wokey judge and get it off that way. And then if you had a jury, would they have to still vote on it? And then if they had to vote on it, if you got one wokey person on the jury, you could probably get away with it. Let's go, Batter. Okay, hold on, everybody. We gotta do something here real quick. Where is it? There we go. Let's go, Batter. I'm proud of you, man. Way to stick it out there. Stick in there. No homo. Good job, man. I'm glad. I've been praying. I prayed for you. I'm glad you're doing better. I hope we can catch up a little bit more soon. I will pray that you get that apartment, my dude. I'm glad that you got a better paying job, though. And hopefully we will therefore be seeing you around a little bit more. Not for money or views. I just enjoy talking to you guys. You guys are all chill. And I'm in agreement with Nanus. This is a good amount of people. If it was flying a little bit faster, that'd be fine. But I think even Yanus's chat is getting a little bit fast at times for me, where I'm like, this is a little too much for my fake self-diagnosed autism. Can go to an appeal court and a judge can decide that the case needs a retrial and they'll select a new jury, blah, blah, blah. I guess we'll see if that happens. Looks like Spider said the appeal was denied, but we'll see. I'm sure they'll still try and work out some shenanigans here.
All white people deserve no mercy. Now Austin Metcalf, a 17-year-old, is a Nazi because he was white. Also, 35 years ago... Does this dude think World War II was in 1991? Black Americans, arm yourselves.
I didn't even...
This country is officially a terrorist state of white supremacists.
I didn't even think about that. World War II was in 1991. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, though. Now, it's literally a lot of these people. There's a decent amount of people online. I wouldn't say a majority, but there's a vocal amount of people online who I think would say you being white is a crime, which is funny because they always complain about people being black just being a crime for being black, right? But it's that whole it's a what's it called, a projection thing at this point. Maybe back in the day I could have believed you back in like the 60s, but now no. Then it seems like it has. Oh, how the turns have tabled. Arguing apply for an appeal in district. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I could see them trying to ride this up to higher courts, honestly. Awesome, Batter. Awesome. I'm glad. I'm really I want all the boys to survive. I want all the boys to succeed. Real talk.
You have no reason to abide by or follow any more laws in this country. Law enforcement and these politicians are all terrorists. Let it all fall. Time for judgment. Just as I suspected. Schizophrenia. I recommend logging the f*** off. Do these people just live in a completely different reality? A guy gets...
Okay, side note. Why does she just have like a box of costumes? What is up with these shenanigans? I mean, I guess I can't say anything. If I had the money, my VTuber would have a bunch of different outfits. So, but still, shenanigans. Shenanigans are afoot. It's a bunch of wigs too.
Gets put in prison for murder, and they're like, wow, what's the point of even following the law? Was white. Also, 35 years ago. Does this dude think World War II was in 1991? Black Americans.
Shu has very big front teeth. Have you guys ever noticed? She's got the...
You have no reason to abide.
She's got like the... If she had the big circle glasses, she'd have like the Chinese girlfriend meme. Like the... Where it's the bear with the big teeth and the big front teeth and the big circle glasses and the fringe haircut. Well, the wedding dress makes sense. She is married, but these other ones she had to actively go out and get.
Abide by or follow any more laws in this country. Law enforcement and these politicians are all terrorists. Let it all fall. Time for judgment. Just as I suspected. Schizophrenia. I recommend logging the f off. Do these people just live in a completely different reality? A guy gets put in prison.
Yes, they do.
Murder, and they're like, wow, what's the point of even following the law anymore? Having a black sun gotta be the tops of fears. I'm going insane. It was the white sun that was murdered. Why are they acting like the black sun was murdered? Why are you scared of having a black sun in this context?
It really just seems like a lot of people, a lot of these people just literally want to get away with anything. They just want to be able to, they don't want rule of law. They want rule of law against the people they don't like only, right? Which again, ironically, is how it was, I suppose, in the 60s or before, maybe. I guess during slavery, kind of. And really, realistically, I just want to ask, it's like if you, it's similar actually to the whole not so legal immigrant thing, where it's like if you don't like it here, if you hate the United States, unless you don't like it here, you don't like the laws, you don't like how things are, you don't like the people that are around you, that live around you, unless you are literally here to invade / overthrow the government, then why are you here? Like, you can go back to the place where you say you like it so much. A lot of people, like, again, it's the question you ask some people. It's like, oh, if the United States and Mexico got into a war, who would you side with? And a lot of these people say Mexico. It's like, so then why aren't you living in Mexico? Or Somalia, for that matter. No, I'm Somali first. No, I'm Indian first. Like, okay, then why are you here? Go live in India. And also, why are we allowing people who don't consider themselves citizens or wanting to be part of the country or obey the laws and stuff like that? They want to just do whatever they want. Like, why are they here? I would honestly be willing, if people wanted to, I'd honestly be willing to be like, okay, we'll pay for you to be able to be flown back and maybe even pay for like some living kind of expense in a different country for a very short period of time, just so that you are no longer here. And if you try to come back illegally, then you're going to be barred from the country for like ever. Rice people. We're okay with rice people. She should go right in the, oh, you know. True, Lucky Bach, true. I didn't think about that. Yeah, they're for the husband. She just happens to use them for gags. Tax write-off. True. Yes, it's tribalism, Jericho. Performative fan fiction. I would have to understand what that term means. But I know performative, and I don't like anyone who is performative. True. True, Deke. It's a big club and we ain't in it. But technically we do decide. I will say that. I was talking to Kyrion about this a little while ago, Kai and Dill, both of them, that it's like, technically we do have a decision because there is things that we could do. It's just that we haven't gotten, either we are still comfortable or we haven't gotten to the point where we want to do them yet, because it wouldn't be very pleasant. But there is things that we could do, possibly things that we should do. It's just a very difficult decision to make. And I'm not approving that, which is why I'm not saying what it is. I'm not saying I approve of it. YouTube, my sponsors, not saying I approve of it. I'm just saying that there are things that could happen that maybe that people are just not ready for yet. And maybe there will be a time in the future where they are, and it will be unfortunate. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, I'm so scared my son will stab someone and go to jail one day. Like, what? What? It's only self-defense when a black kid dies. Literally, multiple witnesses, including black witnesses, including Carmelo's own friends, said that Carmelo was the aggressor in the situation. Also, just in general, murder is not the acceptable punishment for a shove, for a push. That's not how that works. 50,000 likes on that bullshit, by the way. 50,000 people saw that and were like, hell yeah. Black kids are the only kids who can't afford to make mistakes without dire consequences. Your Honor, it was a mistake. My client did a little oopsie poopsie, a little fucky wucky ooh woo, if you will. Black people are held to a higher standard than every other race. We are expected to be perfect, while others are given grace, excuses, and
yeah, I'm gonna stop them there as well, because again, as we've seen recently, it's the complete opposite. As Fleckus and Ratboy would say, and I will also recommend this to you guys. Hey, Dynamodel, good to see you. Hello, Dynamodel, good to see you. How's it going? I was reading chat there. And yes, Deke, I also am not happy about Gavin. Damn it, Gavin, the Rat Man. Which I do have one more thing about. Maybe I kept it in here. Let me check. I did not. I don't know if you heard, Deke, but our gas tax is going up again. Right when gas got under the last high, it's very unfortunate. Our gas tax is going back up. So it's that I was just starting to see gas prices go down again, and now they're going to go right back up because July 1st, the gas tax gets hiked again. Damn it. I think by like 60 cents or something like that. Insane. In California. So anyways, but yeah, no, back to this. It's as Fleckus and Ratboy say, and I highly recommend if you guys need more content. I'm sure none of us do. I sure don't. I have way too much to watch every day, especially with streamers. I was never really into streams, watching streams before. I was more just into pre-recorded content because you can just watch it, and then after it's done, it's done. You don't have to stay on. You don't have to just put it on the background. You know, you're good to go. Or you sit on your couch and watch it for a little bit. You don't have to be interacting. But now that I am a streamer, I watch my friends stream. And man, there's a lot of them, including some of you guys in chat here. But so I have enough. I have plenty of content. I haven't even watched Cecil in weeks. But if you guys do need something else to watch, it's pre-recorded too, so you can watch it whenever. You don't have to stay and talk. But Fleckus Talks, the podcast, one of my favorites. Go check him out. And as an OG Heck Off Commie person, if you guys are interested in that, go watch the John Doyle show too. I don't agree with all of their takes, either one of them, but they are good, entertaining shows with some good insights. I'll say that. If you're talking about Gavin Newsom, I think he has a striking resemblance to Gren Zabi. I don't know who that is. If you don't know, just Google. It makes sense. Okay, I'll do it on the off screen. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, Deke. I used to mod for his server until it got nuked because some people went to schizo mode. Actually, I made some merch for him too. I didn't even charge him. I asked for a favor, and we will see if he will. If I ask for the favor again, we will see if he'll actually give it. If he'll actually confirm that. If he'll actually give me the. If he'll actually do the favor for me. Okay, so this is a Gundam guy. All right. I mean, yeah, Yeah, I mean, I don't know the character himself, but the looks, kinda. I can kind of see it. All right, back to what we were doing. Let's see here.
Stop. Just a reminder that this is all in context of the Carmelo Anthony situation. So the held to a higher standard, in this case, the higher standard of do not stab people. I'm sorry, okay, go on. One mistake by a black person gets used to judge an entire community. Oops, I fell and my knife accidentally stabbed your...
He gets to get used to judge an entire... Nobody's... okay. Now, in recent times, I think the community gets judged because of many cases, and especially as we've seen with Nienis, with her cop videos, which maybe at some point, maybe I'll join in on that. But as we've seen, it's like, no, we're judging the people in the community who are acting and doing certain things, right? And maybe statistically, there's something to be said there. But it's not because of one person. The Carmelo Anthony thing didn't make a bunch of white people go, oh, it's the African American community, they're all like this. No, nobody said that. Maybe somebody said that, but the vast majority of white people were like, no, we just want justice for this horrible atrocity that happened, right? Was there, Jericho? I cut out about halfway through and then came back and then cut out again. So I don't know if there was. And also, I'm in Kick Chat where everybody's an animal anyways, so.
Heart. Austin fell onto Carmelo's knife trying to attack him because the knife is 3.5 inches. The cut was only 2.
I'm crashing out. I'm crashing.
What? 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 I don't understand what those two podcast hosts were saying. The knife was 3 inches, but the cut was only 2. Yeah, I guess a guy can't, it slows down when you go through flesh, right? Unless you're really, really just hammering down on it, the knife may not go all the way through at first, especially if it hits a rib or something like that, or like scuffs a rib, I guess. Like, what? What?
Please let the next one be somewhat rational. Y'all gentlemen are...
Donnie, it depends on what you mean by racist. If you mean people who actually hate other races just specifically because they're a different skin color, a different race, then I would agree with you. I haven't met too many people that are like that. Now, if we're talking about people who joke about racism and joke about stereotypes, I know a lot of people, not just white people. Almost everybody I know does that if they're a guy. even women, even some women, even most women. Just, they won't do it, at work or in what you would consider quote unquote inappropriate places, right? I don't know who the heck Dr. Umar is.
Are so fucking dumb. Y'all really thought that he was gonna get away with stabbing that kid to death. I can tell a lot of you were raised by hoes. Finally, a normal, sane person. A strong black father tells you early that you can't get away with the same shit whites do. Had me in the first half.
Okay. A strong black father tells you can't get away with the same things white can. Since like the 60s, you know what? We'll even do them one better. Since like the 90s, how many white guys who stabbed somebody didn't go to jail for like life? Even kids, right? Whenever a white kid does anything, it always is headline news. Whether it's, a school pewing or something else. I don't know. I guess stabbings. I don't know too many white kids who stab, or steal for them. Anytime any white person, white kid does any kind of like aggressive, violent crime, I feel like you always hear about it because it's like, and part of that reasoning is because it's rare, right? When it's other communities, you don't usually hear about it unless it's from YouTube and independent people now, because on the mainstream news, it's just like, it's just another day, right? In the more ethnic communities, the more, especially lower income, like it just happens every day. It's just not between races. It's to their own race. Unfortunately, it's not a good thing. I'm not claiming it's a good thing and it's not funny, but that's what it is. And if I laugh, it's more of like a unbelief laugh, not like a funny haha laugh, right? And even still, again, statistically speaking, when accounting for per capita, is more likely that a white person is going to be attacked or killed by someone not of their race than the other way around. So, but again, these people don't want to hear this, obviously.
When do white people get away with stabbing?
That's what I'm saying.
What is this? Where do these people live? Earth 2! Culture. When you get called for jury duty, do that shit.
Donnie, even that guy, I don't know if I get, he might get me in trouble on YouTube. Even that guy, I don't know if he's completely that far yet. Like, I've seen some real interviews with him, and I know why he became the way he is, but even still, sometimes there will be people on, what is it? Is it chat roulette or like Omegle or something like that, that are black or other races who get it and joke around with him, and he seems fine with them. Like, so I don't even know if he's really on that, or if he's just selling it up, right? I think he has some of it for sure. But I think also, I mean, if he was really like that, he wouldn't be being friendly with people who think it's funny what he's doing, even though they're a different race. So. Less racial tensions as a kid in the 80s, more stereotyping, but it wasn't taken seriously. No, I agree. We were just talking about that, Dynamol. Yeah, in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, yeah, none of this was, it really started going downhill again during the Obama administrations, which is funny because he was the first black president. So you think that would only make racial interactions better, but no. Donnie, it could also be that he just understands that one, joking is going to be more lucrative, and also being able to work with people of different races is going to be more lucrative for him. I mean, he was in jail for like 5 years, so maybe that's part of it.
Make sure you do your part in serving justice. Every black defendant in every court everywhere is Carmelo Anthony. Every black defendant in every court everywhere is Carmelo Anthony. Every black defendant in every court case everywhere is a murderer. Are you sure that's what you want to go with? I love how he's basically like, go do jury duty so you can go blindly support any black person regardless of what they did. What the like, I don't support every white person. Some of you are dumb. What's wild is this wasn't even like
True.
a cop kills black
I'm
guy
retarded.
thing where like there might be some debate about like police brutality and over policing and things like that. No, this was just straight up a black kid stabbed a white kid, and they're losing their minds because he's going to prison over it. Fascinating.
Carmelo Anthony had been white, not only would he have not been convicted, there'd have never been charges. The only reason Carmelo Anthony was convicted was because we are a broken fucking.
This guy is retarded. This guy is retarded, man. Freaking boomers, dude.
Bigoted country, and Carmelo Anthony was black.
Don't lump me in with them just because I'm 58, all right?
Wow, thanks for the input, gay Colonel Sanders. I fucking hate the Yellowstone hicklib bit. Oh, I'm a big tough country cowboy. Y'all better not say them slurs around here. Yeehaw! Wow, just freaking wow. Disgusting. This is not justice. This is trying to...
I think that's I think that counts as 3 costumes in one video, maybe 4. I wonder if we'll reach a new record here.
To make an example. Dear white people, don't let this verdict fool you. You'll still get fucked up playing them.
All hat, no cattle. Yeah, for real. Shu has a point. 3 ways to vote in America: general elections, your dollar, and jury duty. I've never gotten jury duty. Like, I've gotten the letters for jury duty, but I've never been selected. And I mean, if I was getting paid my normal rate, maybe I would do it. I don't know. Just sit, as long as they let me be on. I know they won't, but I was gonna say, as long as they let me be on my phone. But they definitely will not. The boomers, dude. Like, boomers really be selling every other generation, but boomers and some Gen X. All right, let's be real. Boomers and some Gen X be really selling out. Not all, I know, not all. Be really selling out every other generation below them.
Austin games. Don't let this verdict of a guy who stabbed someone fool you. You're still gonna get stabbed. What? Strong suspicion that a lot of pro-Carmelo...
Jury set precedent. I don't know what that means. I'm kind of retarded. Selected and then said you weren't needed. Yeah, I have never been selected. I call in and I've never been selected.
Stuff I see here is some psyop. Bro, this is what I tried to tell myself for like 6 years about the...
I love Jericho. I love my boomers. I love the boomers that are around me, but they're not this retarded. They made some retarded decisions that have affected me and future generations for sure, because that was kind of an all boomer thing, but you can't blame them completely necessarily because of ignorance, right? But there are many boomers that I agree with you are sucky, and they really are bringing the future generations down, and they do not care. They're like, oh, I sold my 3rd house for, 10 times what it was worth, and none of it is going to my kids. So, or any future generation for that matter. Very weird mindset. Like, no one else throughout history had this. Even kicking your kids out of the house is like, it's a very weird mindset. Maybe in a super rich time period, like it was back when they were younger, from the 60s to the 90s, 2000, early 2000s. Like, yeah, okay, I could see why you would give your kid the boot at 18, maybe, because they're going to make enough money to afford an apartment and stuff like that. But that's a very rare time period, a very rare prosperous time in history. It's a blip, right? The foresight was not there, where they're like, oh yeah, this could go away at any time. Maybe we should keep our kids in our houses or in our second house or whatever, and let them have it, and pass on generational wealth and teach them how to build generational wealth and all that kind of stuff. But nah, they just want to go party it up in Florida and give their wealth to their cats or something like that. Not my boomers, though. My boomers are okay. Jury makes an typically decision and then cited. Oh, yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying, data model. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Jericho.
Online left. It's all a CIA psyop from the billionaires to make leftism look as unappealing as possible to the working class. Bro. Of course, an all-white
Oh my
jury
gosh, we're
found
not
a
even
black
halfway
boy
through
guilty
this.
for defending himself. Fuck you, racist white pieces of shit. Fuck you, racist white pieces of shit. That sounds extremely racist. Black people can't
True.
be racist, stupid hoe. It was not an all-white jury. There were Asian people, there were Hispanic people, and the black people, they did ask to do jury duty in this case, turned it down because they admitted they would be too biased. Like, they literally said they would just vote not guilty because Carmelo is black. On one hand, I appreciate the honesty. On the other hand, what the f***?
If they
Really?
say, can you be fair? Don't say, no, I'm not finna put a black man in jail. Don't say that.
Really taken for granted the blessing and the wealth the older generation had. Forget about the fact that people were literally giving their money to their cats. Yeah, yeah.
Don't say, I hate white people and I don't care what he did. Don't do that.
Yeah,
That's
just
what
lie.
we're doing in this
You know,
case.
guys, just
Okay,
lie.
And then everybody's like in an uproar because there's no black people on the jury when damn near half of the black people who could have been on the jury canceled themselves out. You know? Don't do that. Y'all be regular.
Overruled.
Just be regular.
Oh God.
That's right. Get
just
in there
lie.
and lie to the court so you can free a person because he murdered a white guy. Incredible stuff. Also, I like how they said, just be regular. Just be regular. Just get on the jury so you can free
You
the
know what would be
then
regular?
return to acting irregular. This case is really affecting me.
You know, it'd be regular is if you weren't tribalistic and you held everyone to the same standards.
Making me want to go to law school and fight for my people. I'm sorry. I'm
Go
confused.
ahead.
Your people being murderers? Is that what you're talking about? Murderers? Your people being murderers? Also, if by some miracle you happen to get into law school, you'll be disappointed to find out that intentionally stabbing someone and killing them is in fact murder, regardless of what your skin color is. And there were some people coming at me like, oh, I bet
I'm going to
you'll
let this
defend
run,
Chud
by the way, a
Builder.
little bit
And,
more
like,
because
first of all,
I got to get to bed.
who the f is Chud the Builder? This is how I know I'm getting old. They keep making these random streamers and
Chud the Builder.
and then like releasing them. Did you hear about PP Boy 57? Like, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I don't know who that's.
That is, honestly, that would be an amazing screen name. I hope one of you uses that. PP Boy 57. The boomers turned against the values of their parents in the 60s and then pissed on the graves of those values in the 80s and 90s. They leveraged housing for their retirement portfolios. True. And a lot of them have, didn't even need it because they have pensions, which most of us do not have anymore. We have to invest in 401ks. And even then, that's probably not going to be as much. And who knows how long Social Security is going to last, especially with how much it's been taken out by not so legal immigrants and people who living off the system even before their retirement age.
That is, if Chud the Builder killed someone, or in this case, attempted to kill someone, then he should face consequences for that. Yes. Okay,
Yes.
Your turn. Should Carmelo Anthony face consequences? No? Oh, that's weird. Looks like only one of us is the hypocrite here. See, I am not like you. I have a functioning brain and an IQ of probably maybe over 100. I can look at things on a case-by-case basis and not blind.
Look, guys, look, okay? Here's the base take. You want to either have an IQ over 100, hopefully, or if you don't, you actually want to be like sub room temperature. You want to be like, not even sub room, you want to be like 50 IQ. You either want to be above average at least, or full on monkey mode. You don't want to be a midwit, guys. I think I did a fake internet IQ test once and I got midwit and I was like, oh gosh, no. Pensions and 401 are mostly investments in real estate portfolios. I think it's reversible at this stage. Yeah, I agree, Lucky Bach. Yeah, exactly, Deke. You either want to be smart, like actually smart, or you want to be a dum-dum. You don't want to be a midwit.
Mainly support or attack something, like a mindless drone. Let's go see what they're saying over on Blue Sky, shall we? Fellow white people. Never mind.
Yeah, this is already starting off bad.
I'm done again. Bye. Stay out of black people's mentions about Carmelo Anthony. We are the reason not one black juror was seated. We are the reason that an appeal filed on those grounds will surely fail.
Oh my gosh.
We are the reason Jim Crow is once again law of the land. Oh my god! What has this country come to when a man
Could you
can
imagine if these
freely
people
murder another man in cold blood and get away with it?
Could you imagine if these people were actually living in Jim Crow era and put these people back in the 60s and then bring them back here and see if they're still complaining?
Literally Jim Crow. Yeah, white people cannot be trusted after this trial with Carmelo Anthony. Honestly, that 35-year sentence coming down on the teenager Carmelo Anthony felt like a proxy for a lynching.
Teenager Carmelo Anthony, I believe he was 17 when it happened, and I think he's already 18 or 19 now. So, yes, he's a teenager, but he is currently an adult, and he was almost an adult when it happened. So, also, if you want to call him a kid, how did a kid get a knife? I mean, I know how a kid got a knife, but how did a kid get a knife? And why was he carrying it around at school? Usually you're only allowed to buy like a knife like that when you're 18, I believe. Housing can't correct or they will lose their golden parachute. Well, you know, Dynamodel, at some point it's going to have to correct eventually. You can't keep going up forever, unfortunately, unless somebody else figured it out. Some very elite people figured out how to make it go up forever.
Carmelo Anthony defended himself against two white supremacists. Now that black people stand up for themselves, white fragility is taking over. They simply can't handle it. He saved himself
How
from
are the
being
teens white
lynched, and now he has to
supremacists? How?
spend decades in prison. F***ing racist country. Huh? He was being lynched? Yes. Do these people live in the Netflix adaptation version of reality or something?
Yes.
What is going on? Stabby, jail. No Stabby, no jail. The only reason Carmelo was convicted is because he was black. If this was a white boy, there would never be charges files. I decree that the people who was involved with this case...
Let's look at this. The only reason Carmelo was convicted is because he was black. Okay. If this was a white boy, there would never be any charges filed. Okay. Let's talk about that. If there were no charges filed just because a white boy was white and stabbed somebody, I would have an issue with that. Just the same as I have an issue with this. Okay. I decree that the people who was involved with this case will begin to reap the unjust decision upon their own head to 1,000 generation. All you bigoted racist people. I don't know if you can really take this one seriously. It's from someone that doesn't have a picture, and it's MZDL2U Blue Sky Social. But still, stupid.
Will begin to reap the unjust decision upon their own head to 1,000 generation. All you bigoted racist people. An all-white jury. Of course Carmelo Anthony would be convicted. Not an all-white jury. Yes, an all-white jury. Stop trying to make excuses for racism. No, not an all-white jury. Who are they trying to convince? Other people or themselves? Anyone defending Carmelo Anthony knows that they're not defending him in good faith. Carmelo is obviously guilty of a murder that he intentionally instigated. Defending murders like this only hurts the black community. We need to hold ourselves accountable and hold ourselves to a higher standard.
Finally, you know, I would think this guy would be wokey, but finally some rational input here. But I'm sure there's going to be something after that's not so rational. OJ, the same reason OJ was. Dynamodel, OJ was acquitted because if the glove don't fit, you must acquit.
Oh my god, a normal person on Blue Sky. Bro, what are you doing? Get out of there. Go, run. An all-white jury in Texas convicted Carmelo Anthony of murder. Proof that the U.S. never ended the practice of lynching. They let the courts do it instead. You don't have...
Again, I would say if that person really believed that, why would you still live in the United States? Wouldn't you want to move to someplace else that doesn't do that?
Have to support what Carmelo Anthony did to recognize the problem with sentencing a child to spend 35
This picture does not bode well.
years in prison based off of the deliberations of an all-white jury. Said it again, award! Said it again, award! All-white jury! All-white jury! It's time to play Horseshoe Theory!
Oh, we have a fourth or fifth costume.
Here is the
That's the same costume. We're not going to count that.
Your kids to these race schools.
Oh, stop sending your kids to these black schools. Definitely a white supremacist.
Oh, I'm sorry. The tweet is stop sending your kids to these white schools. And it came from the account Dapper Domo, who is...
By the way, I think a lot of people would say, me? No, I would never say this kind of stuff, but many would say your terms are acceptable.
Black. You know what that means? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Into the pit! Stop bringing non-black people into black spaces. Teach your kids to defend themselves by any means possible.
For that first one, that last one, sure. You know what? Your terms are acceptable.
Keep your black kids in black spaces as much as possible. Keep your black children away from these devils.
If we had segregation still, none of
Fair enough.
this would have happened. He wouldn't have had no interactions with any white boy because we would have been in a...
Y'all weren't these were the people that were... Now, I want to make it clear, and I'm being serious when I say this. I don't know if that's the answer, and I have friends that I don't want to see segregated, of course, and also I'm a mutt, so I don't know where I'd even fall in that situation. But these were the people that were fight. Like, I would assume that their grandparents were most likely fighting against segregation. So what I need a Stone Cold Steve Austin what over here, and a Little John what over here right now. It's a big what.
all black school.
We are going to reverse engineer segregation, aren't we? But wokely. We don't want those evil white people drinking out of the same water fountain as us, am I right? Honestly, my honest, real opinion about this, my hot take of the video, everybody, here it comes. Lukewarm, microwaved, 4-day-old mac and cheese take, here it comes. If they want to go make their own, like, all black schools, all black towns, they should be allowed to. Go for it. Black people want to go create Wakanda? They should be able to, but white people should be allowed to create Agartha. If people want to willingly segregate themselves, they should be allowed to go ahead and do that.
When MLKJ had a dream, I think he was hungover and didn't want to believe the nightmare. See, she's saying the thing, right? But it's difficult for me to agree in that it should be happening here, as far as like, and also where would people get the money for that? And then people would complain about, well, we don't have the same, we don't have it as nice as the people in, as she said, Agartha, right? Now we got to get the same things as Agartha, and you guys got to pay for it. And it's like, so that's why I'm kind of like, if they want to do that, they should go to a different country and do that. My personal opinion. Donnie, I think that I think how it would work is there would be some kind of test, and then you would get placed. Maybe you would get placed test wise or something like that, or you get to decide, and then if you want to go to the opposite one of what you are, you have to take a test for that. See you later, Lucky Bach. I know you're starting. Are you going to start up before you go, Lucky? Please let me know. Are you starting up your stream soon, or is that tomorrow?
Deadass, who cares? Everyone else can live in a desegregated society. They can go have their ethnostates. But you know, there's only one side that will not be able to do that. I always wondered though, let's say they do make a white ethnostate. What counts as white? Because 100 years ago, I would not have counted as white. I'm Ellis Island mystery meat. You know this. Is there like a one drop?
Yeah, that is the issue, right? Because like on my dad's side, I'm a bunch of white stuff. And then on my mom's side, I'm like a few different brown things. And even Italians weren't considered white. Even Irish weren't considered white back in the day. You know what I mean? It was only like Germans, French, people from the UK. Well, I guess it would be England at the time, or Britain, and like Swedes maybe, like those kind of like Viking people, you know, Nordic people. Those were the maybe Spanish. Now Spanish wouldn't even be considered white, I don't think, at the time. So, how do you determine that? That'll be tonight, but not for like an hour. Okay, everybody, do me a favor before we move on. See you later, Lucky Bach. Say bye to Lucky Bach, but also, if you guys want it, he's going to be talking about evidence of Jesus being a real person. Not necessarily, I don't know if he'll get into it, but not necessarily, from what I understand, his divinity. But he will be talking about and showing the evidence that Jesus was a real person who was alive. So if you want to watch that in an hour, he'll be over on his page. So make sure to go follow him and watch that, because I'm interested. I might have to catch the stream VOD tomorrow because I need to go get sleep. But I am actually very interested in that because I've heard talk about it. And obviously I believe in the good Lord Jesus Christ, but I've heard about it, but never actually looked into it myself. So having those references for people who may ask would be good. I would love to have those. It's really a matter. Let's see here. Let's go back up here. See you later, Lucky Bach. White people burn, brown people tan. That was the line back then. I see. Well, but see again, that dirt. I mean, Irish people didn't tan, but they were still not considered white. And then Italians tan, but now they're white. So check the credit score, realize blah, 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 but then they'll get confused. In 85. Yeah, true. Yeah, I would argue that was happening before 85. Whenever the Cold War started, I would have to look at when Yuri Bezmenov said it started, but I know he's maybe one day we'll watch that. We'll react to the Yuri Bezmenov interview. I believe that's how you say his name.
Rule? Do they like whip out the eye chart at the gate and they're like, ah yes, A10s, you may enter. Is Brittany Venti allowed in the white ethnostate? Honestly, she's like an honorary Aryan at this point. She white mogs me. Anyway, we are getting distracted. Where were we? Ah yes, hell. we were in hell. I'm black. I haven't stabbed anyone in the chest after being asked to leave a tent. I'm not in prison, I'm free. It's not hard to not commit a crime. Listen, I appreciate the sentiment here, but how did we get to a point where this is like a breath of fresh air? Let's check the replies. Hopefully people are agreeing. Shut your hoe ass up. Emmett Till didn't commit a crime either. What happened to him? You're not black. You're not black. You're a boy, you ain't black. You may be black, but you ain't black. Yes, because being black.
That happens every time a black person has a dissenting opinion from the rest of the loud black community. They always get called a Uncle Tom or the C word, or that they're not actually black, right? So I think Spider has some experience with that.
Is supporting all black people everywhere regardless of what they have done. All the normal black people are just called like pick-me's. They're called pick-me's for having a brain and not—
Yeah, they're ostracized from the community, even though they're the ones that could probably help the community the most. They're probably some of the best ones in the community, but because they don't go along with the community tribalism lines, basically the party lines of the community, they get, made fun of, bullied, ostracized, pushed around, sometimes really beat up bad ways. And that's why most of them get out of there and leave and don't contribute back to the community. And the community stays the way it is.
Not going along with this race grievance bullshit. Every time like they speak out about this, they're just called the C word, you know what I mean? The term for this animal. Is that a slur? Like, I know what that's like to a degree. Granted, it's over me.
It is.
Fun of like women on TikTok. But like, I know what it's like watching people in your community act like fucking morons. I feel you, my brothers. Oh my god.
You guys ever notice?
Editor. Edit that out.
Damn it. That's not what I want to do. Y'all ever notice that her left eye is like always closed more than her right eye?
By the way, if you want an uncensored, uncucked version of this video and all the videos a day early, sign up to be a member on my Patreon. Link down below. All Patreon members get the uncensored, uncucked version. You can hear me say fucking shit and anyway, let's get back to the video. Oh my god.
This is a racist ass country. We're in a race.
How do you procure such a body type? How do you how do you cultivate such a body type?
Racist ass state. This is a racist ass court. Ain't nothing else to talk about.
First of all, I forgot what I was gonna say. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I was staring at her titties the whole time. Those are giant titties. Just like the courthouse, and any white person can get it for real. I don't give a it. Dig Austin Metcalf up and stab his ass again. Apparently, a bunch of people on TikTok are doing the Austin bop, where they dance. Give a it.
Very odd. You'd think he'd have a lot more on his brain, a lot more on his mind.
Dig Austin Metcalf up and stab his ass again. Apparently, a bunch of people on TikTok are doing the Austin bop, where they dance to a song made of—
Why is it that we've had two now, given that Austin Metcalf was not, isn't a political commentator or anything like that, why is it that we've had two people in the last 2 years that it's like their deaths, even though they were not violent or anything like that, or like dictators or anything, their deaths are being celebrated like they were just normal people? Like, Austin wasn't even like Charlie Kirk. He was just a normal kid. He was just like, yo, dude, you're not supposed to be in this tent. Why is it that like normal ass people, their deaths, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
About Austin Metcalf's murder while reenacting the stabbing.
Austin Bob, knife had blood on the tip when he dropped. How the fuck you gonna stop me? Going out back Marlo at the box.
They were also making AI photos of themselves pissing on Austin's grave. I was always told not to judge people by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. And boy, am I judging these people by the content of their character. What the f*** these people are
Either way, they were right about blah, 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 blah. I'm not Ginger. I don't know what you're talking about, Bat Derp. She reminds me of an angry little mouse. Not sure why. If I had a personified shoe on head, definitely an angry ass mouse. Closest relatives to the neighbor, the
freaks. Martin Luther King Jr. would be rolling in his grave looking at all this. Carmelo Anthony, a black teenager, has been sentenced to 35 years in prison after being convicted by a jury with no black jurors. Oh god, here we go again. No black jurors. Who is this moron? Who is this idiot? Oh! Martin Luther King Jr.'s daughter. Wonderful, awesome. I'm done. It's been a good 12 years, but I'm done. Channel's done. Video's over. This officially broke me. I'm done.
Dynamodel, I'm supposed to read that book.
Most Critical, go watch Asmongold. I'm done.
And right off the bat, man, free Carmelo. Straight up. I don't give a fuck.
Another very odd facial structure.
Lives. F that cracker. We smoking on that Austin Pat. I don't care anymore because it ain't no good in this shit. It ain't.
Like, no hate. Can't control that. I'm just saying.
Nothing good that's in this shit. But they trying to lay the law down. All that shit. Y'all gotta give it up. Y'all gotta give it up.
Like, I don't care anymore because it ain't no good in that shit. It ain't nothing good.
Correct.
That's
Dynamodel.
But they try to lay the law down up that shit. Y'all gotta give it up. Y'all gotta give it up.
This is what really needs to happen, and I'm not even saying this about just that community. I mean, in general, there is a whole lot of people that should not be on the internet or not be talking on the internet. I mean, I guess maybe they can be watching stuff, looking at stuff on the internet, but there's a whole lot of people who should not be interacting on the internet.
Beautifully said. Thank you,
Donnie,
sir.
it's very oblivion coded.
American on earth that is surprised by what just happened to Carmelo Anthony. Not one black face in that jury box, not one peer, not one person who has ever navigated this country in melanated skin. And if you think that doesn't matter, then you haven't been paying attention to the last 400 years of American history because you don't want to. This is not new. This is the system working exactly as it was designed.
First of all, the Black Panther LARP is cringe. It's gotta go. This isn't the 1960s. You aren't protesting segregation. You're making a fucking TikTok video, okay? Second of all, this is the system working exactly how it was designed. Yeah, I'd hope. When you kill someone, you go to jail. Like,
Yes, exactly. Huh.
am I missing something? It was actually a refreshing change that the system was working for once. I'm tired of waking up to headlines like, man who raped corpse on subway gets 5 years in jail. Like, I'm not kidding. That was like a real headline I saw the other day.
I'ma say it since nobody else can say it. Austin.
What?
Glad your ass dead. Austin, fuck his family, and I hope they get this message to have a up day in here, Austin. I hope you over there burning up, bitch.
I'm so proud of y'all for kicking that white boy. See, they not used to this happening to them, y'all.
That last guy, I understood every like 10th word.
My only problem is it should happen more. Can we please pick a day where we just f***ing white people up? Matter of fact, I wish I knew what a little white boy grave was so I can go spit on that bitch.
How the f*** are any of these videos
Why?
still up? There were so many of these
Really?
videos. Are these people like CIA psyops? I'm doing it again. No. This got so bad that people were actually going out and assaulting white people to get revenge. Obviously, I can't show these videos, but there were multiple incidences of this. These people...
Oh yeah, they were just going around beating up like random homeless people because they were white. Isn't that crazy?
In a delusional alternate reality, and they're becoming radicalized to take revenge for shit that isn't even f***ing happening. But like every other f***ing week, I have to read another stupid New York Times article about how, like, 20-year-old white boys are being radicalized into the alt-right because they watch Jordan Peterson or some shit. Like, you. And like, people have been so brainwashed to believe that they're racist because they post like edgy memes. No, you're not f***ing racist with your 4chan memes. These people are racist. You're like a level 1, maybe.
Yes, literally, because they're literally going around beating up people because of the color of their skin.
Level 2 racist. These are like.
And trying to, and wanting, it's seemingly, allegedly, seemingly wanting a race battle, so that YouTube doesn't get mad at me. Race battle, seemingly wanting that. Like, what?
Level 9 racists. You have no idea what racism is. I've seen your friend groups. Racist friend groups do not care what race you are, as long as you are also racist. These people are.
Yeah, just look at the people in here, right? We got a bunch of mixed race people, basically.
Significantly more racist than you will ever be. Hell, even the KKK, level 10 racists, wore hoods to conceal their identity. These people are out here posting this full government name and face.
I got 5 boys. I don't know what. I ain't got to tell them no more.
I deadass gotta look at my sweet innocent.
You know what you could tell them is just don't be, like, behave, I guess. Follow the law, right? Right? That's too much to ask.
Son one day and explain to him that people hate us simply because we were born black. What am I supposed to tell my son? I don't f***ing know. Not to kill people? Like, okay, sorry. I don't know what it's like to be black, okay? I don't know. Maybe it's a completely different experience that I will never understand. But in this case, nobody is hating Carmelo because he is black.
Yes, true.
Carmelo because he killed someone. I basically said this on Twitter, and some liberal account was like, remember when Shu was a leftist? Ah yes, the famous leftist policy, being pro-murder. I remember back when Shoe on Head was pro-murder. Silly me, how could I fall so far? Leftism isn't about wealth inequality or workers' rights. No,
luckily, I was never a leftist.
Have white people. Clearly. To be completely honest, I have seen what being a good leftist is to you people, and with all due respect, you fucking no thank you.
We also know now that yes, Carmelo Anthony may have had a tool in his backpack that no, he shouldn't have brought it to a track meet. But it was there. It had a 3.5-inch blade. But also in that backpack, he had snacks. He had school puzzles.
What does that have to do with anything?
Your Honor, yes, the defendant may have had a knife, but he also had Cool Ranch Doritos. I rest my case. Real lawyer, by the way. That woman is a real lawyer. There were thousands and thousands of videos and tweets just like this. You probably get the point. These weren't just like cherry picked. They were everywhere. But it wasn't just
way too much
Twitter nobodies and blue sky nobodies. There was also
big people,
Congress people saying this insane shit.
Black women.
Yeah, of course, it's this
in fear and
Ketanji Brown Jackson or whatever.
Single day. A fear and agony that I
and she changes her voice, by the way, to who she's trying to appeal to.
Never spend a day.
Like, she adds accents. It's almost like
teenage son was
Kamala.
But please keep in mind the real victims here. Black women.
I don't know what he had. It was like it seemed like it was a multi-tool, almost like a Swiss Army.
Like with like with the little scissors and everything and whatever. So it was small.
Your Honor, the knife my client used to kill the man was small. What? By the way, I've not seen a single Democratic politician come out and disavow this idiot. So until then, I'm just going to assume they all agree. What's funny is they can't come out and disavow it because they'll all be attacked and called racist, and they know it. This was a viral Substack written by a university professor. Are you ready for this? Dear Jeff Metcalf, your son is dead because you failed to teach him that black boys have boundaries. Yesterday evening, Jeff Metcalf, the father of Austin Metcalf, used his victim impact statement to address Carmelo Anthony directly after he was sentenced to 35 years after the court treated his act of survival as murder. The elder Metcalf reportedly described Austin as a boy, twin, son, leader, true warrior. He remembered him as a baby grabbing his finger. He talked about teaching him to fish, watching him take his first buck, and seeing him grow up too fast. He spoke of a scholarship created in Austin's memory, and said his family has been robbed. And right there, his own words, Jeff Metcalf told on himself. In your own memorial language, you told us about the kind of white boyhood Austin was raised inside. It was a boyhood steeped in conquest language, hunting rituals, warrior fantasies, masculine toughness, and the
Guys, you need all this stuff. If you haven't gotten it yet, go out and get it. Find some friends to go do this kind of stuff with. That I don't care what this is saying. This is not toxic. This is good. This is good for you.
romance of force. You told us about a child praised for not just being kind, curious, gentle, or careful, but for becoming a leader,
True, Donnie.
and a warrior in a racist culture where those words too often mean dominance. This psycho saw a grieving father describe his son as a leader and a warrior and freak the fuck out because his son is white and therefore that's like white supremacy or some shit. In their world, white people are like only allowed to hate themselves, right? That's why libs are often the way that they are, just like absolute cucks, just like rolling over and showing their bellies. Haha, white people can't dance. Haha, white people, like, they don't season their food. Because being anything other than that gets you treated like this. Reminder that this is a professor in a college teaching students right now, and you wonder why people are
College
the way
is
that they are.
retarded.
I swear we had it made in the 90s. I swear that was like peak normalcy. Do you feel that way? Maybe I'm just like
80s,
this stupid
90s.
millennial like nostalgia because I was a child back then and didn't know. I don't know. I kind of feel
Early
like
2000s.
race relations were better back then because it was all like, oh, we don't see color, and then they flipped it and they were like, actually, if you don't see color, you're racist. You have to acknowledge your white privilege and you're a colonizer. Like, what the? I feel like my worldview's just been shattered. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean we can't just all be in a circle and sing Kumbaya? What is this? Like, I was always taught from my parents, from my teachers, like, we shouldn't judge people on their skin color, blah, 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 blah. And like, were these people just not taught that? Were they not taught that? I feel like they were just taught from a young age, like, white.
So that's about it. That's the meat and potatoes of it. With that, guys, it's getting kind of late. I can see that we're slowing down a little bit here, and I am too. I need to go handle something with the Duchess. We are hopefully getting a new bread frame. That would be kind of cool. A bread frame. A bed frame made out of bread. It'd go really fast, but it sounds kind of cool. So with that, I'm going to bid you guys a good night, and I'm going to turn on the music. Thank you for stopping in. Lucky Bach, Donnie, the Deke, Dynamodel. I still got to catch one of your Gundam builds. Bat Derp. I think Bigot Barry stopped in for a minute. Lucky Bach. If I didn't say it, go watch Lucky Bach in about a half an hour, I think, on his channel. He's going to be talking about Jesus and if he was a real person. Jericho, thank you for stopping in. Do we have anybody else? Spider. Thank you, Spider. My boy, Spider. Feral Mantis, thank you for stopping in. I know who you are on X. I don't remember the X name, though. Alex MQZ, who stopped in for a hot second. Elucidator, who stopped in. My boy, Elucidator, always here. We appreciate all you guys. Thank you for watching with me. I know it was a short one, but I am tired, and I got to go to bed. I got to take a shower and go to bed. But I hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll get the ball rolling again soon. I promise. We will be doing some more of this, so getting back to games, and we will have everything set up so I can start making streams better for you guys. Appreciate you guys. Much love. No homo. God bless. Really, really, I'd be praying for you guys. If you guys need any prayer requests, please let me know in the Discord. If you guys want to come talk in the Discord, you know what? Let me give you guys the Discord really quick here. You guys can have it. I trust you. All right, here you go. If you guys wanted to jump in, there you go. If you guys are wondering what my catchphrase is for the questions, it's for legal reasons. This is a joke. And also, I just work here. I have a couple of them. Anyways, let's drop the music here.